Everyone, and welcome. So let's talk about a mystery that's popping up everywhere these days. We are absolutely swimming in content made by AI. But can you actually spot the difference between what's real and what's fake? Let's dig in and find out.
Okay, let's just get right into it with a little test. You're looking at two paragraphs here. They're both about the economic side of renewable energy. Simple enough, right? Well, here's the catch. One was written by a person and the other by an AI. Go ahead, take a second. Which one is it? Which one feels off? Got your answer? Okay, lock it in. We're going to circle back to this later.
So why is that so hard? I mean, it should be obvious, right? Well, the reason it's so tricky is that we've kind of stumbled into a brand new age of fakes. That clear line we used to have between what a human makes and what a machine makes, yeah, it's getting fuzzier and fuzzier literally by the minute. To get a handle on what's going on, we first have to understand the difference between the real deal and, well, the not-so-real deal. On one hand, you've got genuine AI. This is the smart stuff, systems that can actually learn from data, think through a problem, and change their approach. But then you have this other thing. Sometimes people call it fake AI, or a better term might be AI washing. This is when a company slaps an AI label on something that's really just following a simple, pre-programmed script. It looks intelligent, but there's no actual learning happening under the hood. You know, there's this great quote from Elaine Reach that really nails it. She said, "Artificial intelligence is the study of how to make computers do things that humans are currently better at doing." And that's it, right? That's the whole game. We're trying to teach computers to do things that have always been our thing, like seeing, listening, and yeah, writing. And the better they get, the harder our job becomes of telling who's who.
So naturally, as AI content started flooding the internet, a whole new industry shot up to meet it. You could call them the AI detectives. These are the tools and programs designed for one job and one job only, to hunt for those digital ghosts in the machine.
So how do these things even work? It's actually not as complicated as you might think. First, you feed it some text and the detector chops it up into little pieces. Then it takes each one of those pieces and compares it to this gigantic library it has, a library full of stuff written by humans and stuff written by AI. After all that comparing, it comes up with a score, basically its best guess.
And this right here is the most important part to remember. The output isn't a simple yes, it's AI or no, it's human. It's a percentage. It's a score that says something like, we're 87% sure this was written by a machine. See the difference? It's all about probability, not a hard and fast verdict.
Okay, but this is where the real arms race begins. Because these AI detectives, well, let's just say they're not perfect. Far from it. They've got some pretty big cracks in their armor. And we need to be crystal clear on this. There is no AI detector out there that's 100% accurate. Not one. Like we just said, the results are just probabilities, they're not courtroom evidence. They can easily get thrown off by a human who has a really unique writing style, and, this is huge, they can be seriously biased.
All right, remember that test from the beginning? Let's go back to it. The AI-written paragraph was Paragraph A. Did you get it right? It's tough, isn't it? And that's because this is a perfect example of the problem. This quote here explains why. These detectors can misinterpret writing styles and flag them as fake, especially for writers who aren't native English speakers. Why? Because if the tool is trained on one kind of writing, anything different can look wrong to the machine. It's a massive flaw that's built right into the system.
Which, of course, leads us to the very next move in this wild cat-and-mouse game. Just as the detectors started getting smarter, a whole new kind of tool popped up to outsmart them. This is where we get into the art of disguise.
I mean, think about it for a second. The first AI writers were just trying to create passable text. But what happens when the goal shifts? What if it's not just about creating content, but about creating content that's a ghost, something totally invisible?
And this is where you can see the battle lines drawn so clearly. You've got your standard paraphrasing tools on one side. Their job is just to reword things. But then you've got these AI humanizers. They have one single, solitary mission: to make AI text completely undetectable. They're not just paraphrasing. They're using custom-built algorithms trained on, get this, over 500,000 human articles, all to make AI writing look so human that it passes detectors with a 0% AI score. Yeah, the game has totally changed.
So where does that leave us? We've got AI that's getting smarter at writing and detectors that are flawed. What are we supposed to do? Well, it's time to build our own toolkit. We have to arm ourselves for this new world.
Here's the bottom line.
When you have technology that's just in a constant state of one-upping itself, your best weapon isn't going to be another app or another program. It's the tool you already have right between your ears, your own critical thinking.
And a great way to sharpen that skill is with what I call the 3 C's of AI literacy. First up, critique. Just don't take anything at face value anymore. Look for the little tells. Is the grammar a little too perfect? Does it feel a little soulless? Second, context. You have to ask yourself, who is behind this content? What do they want? What's the motivation here? And number 3, create. Honestly, the best way to get what AI is all about is to just use it. Play around with it. See for yourself what it's good at and where it completely falls apart.
Because ultimately, getting comfortable with this stuff isn't just about spotting fakes. It's about sharpening our ability to ask the really big, important questions. Which leaves us with a final one to think about. When an AI can mimic a human so perfectly that we can't tell the difference, what does authentic even mean? That's a question we're all going to have to answer for ourselves. Thanks so much for joining me.